So Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, has admitted that Kinect may not ever be the device that makes your entertainment experience any better when it comes to the Xbox One, which of course is a totally different story than what we heard at the launch of the system when Microsoft stated that you couldn't even separate the two and that it was an integral part of the whole package. But before I get into the full statement of what he said, I do want to point out, as you probably already know, you are watching some Witcher 3 gameplay, and I do want to give a shout out to one of my subs who reached out and actually hooked me up with this code for the game. His name's Dale417, and I hope I'm saying that right. He didn't even want any shout outs or anything, but I'm going to leave his Twitter in the description box so you can at least go check him out and thank him for the gameplay if you want to. So appreciate you, Dale, for hooking me up with this. So here's the full statement from Kinect from Phil Spencer. He was asked what were his thoughts on Kinect and has it been abandoned. He said, "It's not abandoned. We just developed Upload Studio 2.0, which has green screening that you can do with Kinect. We'll continue to build functionality to make it a valuable part of the ecosystem. That said, price point's really important for the console. We saw that over the holidays in the UK and the US, where we did well when we dropped the price, which was great. And I want to make sure consumers have a choice on how much value they think the functionality of Kinect has when they buy a console. If you want to go buy a Kinect console, they're still available. I think it's a great part of the ecosystem. And if you want just a console and either add a Kinect later or Kinect simply not something you're interested in, you've got that choice as well. The teams continue to look at ways Kinect can make the entertainment experience better. I'd say that area hasn't really landed, and I don't know that it will. Is Kinect an integral part to the core gaming scenarios on our consoles in terms to minute-to-minute gameplay? There are genres where Kinect works really well, but if you're playing Halo or Call of Duty, there's not really a scenario that says, hey, I need a Kinect. There's a lot of excitement, and there are still announcements to come about what people are doing with it, but Kinect's place will be earned through the experience that it's out there and developers that show interest. We will continue to build functionality through voice and using the RGB and depth cameras, and we'll stay focused on that, but giving the consumers choice is pretty critical. So, I mean, that's definitely a big change, you know, from what we were hearing about the heads that were in charge back during the reveal. And sales did seem to pick up, you know, when they finally dropped it, which of course also drops the price. And I don't think it's going to stop being supported, but I am glad that they're not trying to force devs to make use of it like they seem to be doing kind of early on. It was like they wanted, you know, everybody to kind of roll in these Kinect features. And so I don't want anybody to force it, but at the same time, I'm surprised that, and I mean, this really goes for both the PS4 and Xbox, because they both have cameras, but I'm surprised that more devs aren't allowing you to do things like at least scan your body or your face and put it into the game. I mean, they were doing that back in the old days of like Rainbow Six. You know, you could take a camera and do that like on the Xbox 360 and I think pretty much all the other platforms. But maybe it has something to do with, you know, people scanning in objects that, you know, aren't their face, of course, because I'm sure you're going to have plenty of that. But I figured that would be like one of the most useful game applications you could use it for, and maybe there's more out there. But I think, and I think a basketball game, I forget which one that it is really the only one that I've really heard about doing it, where you can take your face and really scan it in. You know, Kinect is one of those devices where there's a sizable crowd that can find a use for it. They like the voice features. They maybe like the hand controls, which I've never found really any use for. But you also see a lot of people using it for, you know, their uploading and streaming and things like that. But it's also a device that we knew early on didn't have to be with the Xbox. And I did a video before they announced that they were dropping it saying exactly that, saying that, you know, it should be dropped and given an option to people because there's a lot of things you just don't need it for. Most games you don't. So it should have really been optional from the very beginning. And I think it's one of those decisions along with the reveal that just helped give Xbox a slow start out of the gate. You know, it held them back. That along with the reveal and them making sure that you had to buy a system that had this camera in it when a lot of people didn't want it, they didn't care for it, you know, that held them back. So they are definitely learning from their mistakes, and you're definitely hearing a different tune now that some heads have rolled and some new people are in charge. So if you want to read the full interview, links down in the description box. They talk about more than just Kinect, so you can go check that out. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.